get straight into day 8. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan, trusted name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now, we're going to get into day 8 of Diddy's trial. You know what I mean? We're not going to be, I don't want to spend too long on each day because I'm going to keep it simple, straight to the point. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's keep it moving. So you already know what the link, the everything in regards to the charges. So we're just gonna keep it moving, keep it pushing. All right. So the witnesses on day 8: Gerard Gannon, who is obviously from Homeland Security, investigation special agent; Dawn Hughes, a board-certified clinical and forensic psychologist; and George Kaplan, former executive assistant to Sean Combs from 2010 to 2012. All right, so let's get straight into the testimony from Gerard Gannon. So Gannon, continuing from day 7, testified for about 2 hours. How many hours is that so far? Hey, that is crazy work. But anyway, so detailed items found in Sean Combs' Miami mansion on Star Island. He presented photos of 2 AR-15 lower receivers with T-face serial numbers, loaded magazines, 25 bottles of baby oil, 31 bottles of Astroglide lubricant, and platform hills in blank toys and platform hills in a closet near Sean Combs' near Sean Combs' master bedroom. Gannon also described finding a 45 caliber handgun in a guest house suitcase, a crystal or rock-like substance suspected to be MDMA, psilocybin pills and a Gucci bag with cocaine, ketamine. By the way, you know ketamine is a horse tranquilizer, right? What's he doing with that, bruv? MDMA and Xanax residue. He emphasized the quantity of baby oil and lubricant, suggesting freak-off activities, not personal use. The defense, Estevar, argued the firearms were they're not in use, if that makes sense. And the baby oil could be for legitimate purposes, questioning Gannon's assumptions and Gannon stood firm, noting the item proximity and context. You know, I remember when this information came out about the baby oil. Like, I remember one of it was it his attorney or someone. I remember someone close to Diddy was trying to say that it's to do with but he buys he something to do with he buys baby oil in bulk from Costco because what's that got to do with it? Like, it's a good argument to make. Don't get that twisted, because obviously it's good to buy in bulk. You know what I mean? It's good to buy in bulk. But as far as I'm aware, now the argument says invalid. You know what I mean? It's just so invalid. Anyway, so the standout quote from that testimony is, in Diddy's closet, he found AR-15 receivers, 25 baby oil bottles and 31 Astroglide serial numbers were defaced. And the 45 caliber as well. That also stood out. All right, so linked to charges: RICO, AR-15, defaced serial, and blank supplies indicate enterprise equipped for intimidation and freak-offs. Yeah, blank trafficking, firearms, and blank toys suggest coercion via threats of violence with baby oil tied to forced freak-offs. Transportation, all right, hotel-related items imply travel logistics, all right, and that's that on that one. Let's get to the next testimony by Dawn Hughes, who is this board-certified clinical forensic psychologist testifying as a blind expert on domestic violence and trauma. This is a key to me. This type of testimony that we're gonna hear is pivotal. I consider the word pivotal because she is someone who understands like the psychological situation when it comes to these type of situations in terms of, yeah, domestic violence. That's one thing, but like you got to remember, Cassie says he was forced. You know what I mean? And she's a key witness. That's what I'm going to mention. Because she's a key witness, so it's important that there's a psychological expert, like a forensic psychological expert, domestic violence. And anyway, let's keep moving. So Dawn testified for about 90 minutes again, a football match, providing context for victims' behavior in abusive relationships. She explained that trauma bonds make victims reluctant to leave abusers, and it's common for victims to delay reporting, love their abuser, or repress memories. Dawn noted victims often use narcotics to cope, aligning with Cassie's testimony about drug use during freak-offs. She emphasized that coercion can occur without overt threats through manipulation or power imbalances. Do you know how true this is there? Because if you pay attention to put it this way, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say this. Yeah, if you think about it, she's in a position where coercion is one thing, but like, I don't know. It's just, in fact, I'll get into it in a minute because I literally lost track of what I was going to say. But anyway, so where was I? So Dawn noted victims often use narcotics to cope, aligning with Cassie testimony about narcotics during freak-offs. He emphasized that coercion can occur without overt threats. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If you notice anything about life, I want to say life in general, but if you notice anything about politics, I'm going to say this. I've always said it's poor lies and tricks. Do you understand? And I won't go into any details in regards to that, but just know when I say poor lies and tricks, it's because it's manipulation tactics that usually happen. You know what I mean? Notice when they want your vote, and then when they get your vote, they have all these promises that they're going to do. When they get voted in, they don't even do half of it. Maybe only 10% of what they promise, if that. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing every single night, and many fall for it. Anyway, so let's keep it moving. All right, and not to say many fall for it, because we always believe that a change could happen, and that's just the human nature. Like we always feel like a change can happen, it will happen, and in some cases they do happen. They do. That's manipulation or power or imbalances. Irony of what I'm reading just now. So the defense via Jonathan Bach challenged Dawn's neutrality, noting she met prosecutors 6 times and had worked with defense attorney Brian Steele in another case, suggesting bias. Now that wouldn't make sense if she's met the prosecutors 6 times. Are you trying to imply that she's gonna be biased towards them, or she's worked with Brian Steele? Does that mean, because Brian Steele is on Diddy's team or the defense team, does that mean she's gonna be biased towards Diddy? No, she's not going to be like sway one side. She's just gonna be neutral. That's how I'm seeing it. Let me know how you see it. Suggested bias, but so Hughes. Dawn maintained she was not briefed on case specifics. See, standout quote from this particular testimony from Dawn: victims stay because of trauma bonds. They love their abuser even after violence. All right, excuse me. So, linked to the charges: blank trafficking, trauma bonds, and love explain Cassie prolonged compliance with RICO, indicating coercion. RICO, manipulation. Yeah, manipulation supports pattern of control within the enterprise. All right, let's go on to the next testimony by George Kaplan. All right, so the former executive assistant to Sean Combs from 2010 to 2012 tasked with travel and hotel logistics. George Kaplan testified for about 1 hour, invoking the Fifth Amendment. I plead the Fifth. I plead the Fifth. I plead the Fifth. What is plead the Fifth? Let's get into that. Plead the Fifth. It means the exercise right to guarantee by the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution refusing to answer questions in order to avoid incriminating oneself. That's why anyone would want to plead the Fifth. You know what I mean? It's not like I hear it, because if you're gonna have to tell, if you have to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to plead the Fifth so you can get I don't know, maybe get immunity to make sure that, not to say immunity, but protect yourself, so when you're able to testify properly, you're not gonna be charged, or maybe if you do get charged, maybe there's a deal in place. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. I could be wrong, but you can even answer the comments below, because that's an American thing. That's definitely. If there's a UK version of that, leave it answer the comments below, because I would like to know. But Judge Subramanian issued an immunity order compelling testimony. Yeah, Kaplan described working 80 to 100 hours weekly. That is a lot of hours. You know how many hours there are in a day, let alone a week? That's hours upon 80 to 100 hours weekly. Setting up hotel rooms in New York, Miami, Los Angeles, Atlanta, DC, and Orlando. Yo, that's a lot of places. That definitely constitutes to, but we'll get into that. Anyway, under Sean Combs' alias Frank Black, he stocked rooms with candles, baby oil, astroglide, liquor, and a speaker, often using corporate credit card. That definitely is a RICO. You're using employee or business credit card or whatever business money for personal use. It would be different if he was paying himself. Do you know what I mean? Because yes, companies are founded and created by business owners. They can have a salary from their company. You know what I mean? They can have a salary from their company. It's just all in the way how they set it up in the right way. Yeah, not just use the money anyhow, just because you get the money coming in. That's not how you do it. And I'm not talking about doing something anything incriminating. I'm just talking about business. All right, I'm just talking about business. But back on this particular case, this particular day. Let's focus. Where was I? All right, so Kaplan admitted picking up MDMA in Miami and an unknown substance in Los Angeles for Sean Combs, paid in cash. He said Sean Combs or Christina Corum. Pay attention to that name now, because some were trying to say, "Oh, Cassie is her is Diddy's Jesseline Maxine or whatever her name is, or Maxine Jesseline or whatever her name is." And some would say Young Miami was that, but doesn't look like that for me. But anyway, so he said Sean Combs or Christina Corum gave instructions, and Sean Combs threatened his job monthly. The defense, via Brian Still, questioned Kaplan's direct knowledge of free costs and suggested he exaggerated to avoid liability. He was given immunity order. See, everyone who used to say that, not everyone, those who said that Brian Still is the what do you call it, the Joe Proctor, comparing him to Joe Proctor from Power. I'm gonna need you to apologize and apologize loudly. Do you think Joe Proctor would have acted like this? Hell no. No, he wouldn't. And I know he's a fictional character, but no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't even. Then again, he defended Ghost, defended Tommy, but he had a backup plan. But anyway, those who watch Power, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know. Hey, let's get back straight into the day 8. Where was I now? So anyway, the standout quotes were from this testimony was, I set up hotel rooms with baby oil, lubricant, candles. Diddy or Christina told me what to do. So that goes to show you that Christina Corum is his Ghislaine Maxine, whatever her name is. Am I right? Or am I right? Leave your answer in the comments below. That's what that sounds like. So I'm gonna say allegedly. But you can still tell me if I'm right or right. You know what I mean? Anyway, looking to the charges, RICO, hotel setups and staff instructions show how enterprising, hotel setups and staff instructions show an enterprise organizing freak-offs. All right, so that's one. And obviously using the business credit card. And then blank trafficking, baby oil and lubricant tied to coerce freak-offs with fear indicating coercion. Transportation, interstate, travel, Miami, LA, New York for hotel setup support, travel for commercial blank. All right. So that is that on that one. And it's so mad when you think about the context of how everything is. Like, even if you want to give me a second. Even if you want to say, oh no, he's guilty, he's being set up. Can you really say he's being set up in this particular situation? I don't think you literally can. I genuinely don't think you can. You can't. From what I'm hearing, he can't eat ish. How? How would, because someone put an argument, oh, if he never stood up against that alcohol brand or whatever the case may be, this would never happen. No, let me tell you something about life. If you do wrong, eventually that wrong is going to come back to you. You have to pay for the prices of the things you do, and even vice versa in terms of doing good. The good you do comes back to you. That's just facts. That's just facts. I'm not sorry about that. So that's one lesson in that regard. But let's get on to the next day. But so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Give me a second. Let me just put up the next thing for me. I can remember how to do this. But yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. This is a really intriguing case. I can't even lie to you. It's a very intriguing case, especially when you hear certain things.